My name is Troy Ott, and I'm a real estate broker here in Columbia, South Carolina. I offer a 1% commission structure, which nobody else in our market can or will offer. It's quite extraordinary. It saves my sellers thousands of dollars when they go to sell property. I offer it on commercial, on land, and residential. Here's how it works on a typical $200,000 home. On a typical $200,000 home, my 1% commission structure would save the seller $8,000 in real estate commissions at closing. That's $8,000 on a $200,000 home. How it works is very simple. On that same $200,000 home, I charge a 1% fee at time of list. Basically, then once I sell the property, if and only if I bring the buyer, literally the buyer is my client, no other agent involved, then there is an additional 1% at closing for a total of 2%. Given the fact the standard real estate commission in our market, nationally and locally, is anywhere from 6, 7, 8, even 10%, that scenario is saving you a full 4 percentage points, or basically $8,000 in commission you're saving. However, another scenario is I list the property and I don't bring the buyer. Let's say another agent brings a buyer. Then you pay me 1% at time of list and nothing at closing. The co-broke for another agent who brought an acceptable offer is 3%. So in that worst case scenario, you would pay 1% at time of list, 3% to the other agent involved, for a total of 4. Even in that scenario, you're saving a full 2 percentage points, or a full $4,000 based upon a 6% commission. Either way you cut it, it's extraordinary. Nobody else offers it, and it's an absolute win-win for sellers. If you don't want to do that, though, I offer that as a part of an a la carte menu that I offer. Certainly I'll do a standard 6% commission. I want to be very clear, I am a full-service brokerage. I am not a discount broker. When you list with me, whether it's $1 million home on Lake Murray or whether it's 20 acres in Pelion, I offer the same level of service. I offer professional photography, staging. I offer premier exposure on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, also Craigslist, and most importantly, of course, our local MLS, which touches on over 5,000 selling acres in our market. Any way you cut it, what I'm offering is something quite extraordinary, and would love to implement it for you today and your family. 2 questions sellers ask me, and quite candidly other agents. The first question is, how in the world can you do this? How can anybody offer a 1% commission scenario and still maintain a business plan? And here's a very simple answer to that question. When I list a home, a perfect example would be a property I just listed in Gilbert, South Carolina. I sold it in less than 30 days for full price, $319,000. I implemented the 1% commission structure. That same property, those people who sold that home chose to work with me as their buyer agent. They in turn bought another very expensive home, and I made a very large commission on that sale. The reason I can do the 1% commission structure is I'm so confident that I will meet or exceed your needs that you will in turn refer me to other family members, or clients, or friends within your network. That's how it works. The question number 2 is very simply, if I list with you, people will say, other sellers will say, Troy, this sounds great, but if I list with you and I pay the 1% up front and you fail to sell my home, then I've lost that money. Here's the answer to that question. Last year I sold and closed over 100 properties, both residential, commercial, and land, of varying price points, from $1 million homes on Lake Murray to $30,000 lots in Pelion, South Carolina. What I find is that of those 100 plus homes that I sold and closed last year, only two failed to close. One was with a seller who chose to rent his house to a family member who moved back to Columbia. The second scenario was a seller who basically felt he could dictate to the market what the price of his home was. I'd educated him about the true value of his house, but he chose not to follow my advice, and in turn, regrettably, his home didn't sell. So bottom line, when I take a listing, it sells. I have a unique relationship with my sellers, I have great communication skills, and together, working as a team, I will sell your property. Call me today at 803-917-1893, and let's get started.